Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Moscow region, and welcome to Istra, which is quite a fair distance from Moscow. And look who's here with me. Everybody must recognize Yuri.
Hello. Hello everything.
Now Yuri, if you don't know, he was on a video that I did where he showed me around some micro apartments in Moscow.
Yeah.
And what have we come here to see today?
Tomorrow we...
Today
today we see small houses here. Houses, container house, model houses, 33 square meters.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
If you're wondering what Yuri and I are doing here, we're actually at a model house village, which is in Moscow region, in Istra. And I thought there was no one better to bring along than Yuri, who knows a lot about houses and homes. And this place where we are here, actually, if I pan around briefly, it's probably a little bit hard to see, is a whole village of houses or kit houses or model homes that you can buy and have built. And what we want to see, and what Yuri wants to see, is this container home.
Yeah.
Which is quite unique, I think, for Russia, and quite interesting.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting for investment real estate in Russia, because it's very simple houses. These houses bring on the truck and go everywhere in all region in Russian Federation. It's very simple. It's very good.
Now, if you're watching from Australia, we do have something kind of similar to this, but in Australia we call them a donga, or a transportable home, for the fact that they can actually be delivered on the back of a truck. These essentially are containers, and I'm going to show you in a little bit more detail in a second. And I just think they're just so interesting for Russia, and especially for people who want to buy some land and want to simply put a house on the land, no matter where you live in the whole of the Russian Federation. You can actually see off in the distance, there's a path here that leads to all the other different types of homes. So mostly they're all kit homes or prefabricated homes that you can actually have built on your own land. And what's interesting for me is this container home. Now, if you've seen containers before, this probably is not too unfamiliar. And this exact end that you'd be used to seeing, normally there'd be two very heavy swing doors, so they've been removed, and they've put glass panels right there. And then this other second container is the terrace. You can see a couple of guys sitting inside there. We'll get to them in a minute. But essentially this second left-hand container is the deck or terrace area where it's been basically emptied out, and that's the main living area is in this right-hand container. So essentially all you got to do is get the pylons ready, and then the actual layout. This is a 40-foot container, so you do it for two containers, and essentially they'll truck them in and put them right on your land. Now this one right here is another example, which I love this because it's got the upstairs roof and terrace area here. Now Yuri and I, of course, we've got big visions of these tiny houses. But could I convince my wife to get one and put it on some land that we might purchase? So the big advertising they've got all around this container is the size of the living space, 33 square meters. So this essentially is two 40-foot containers that have been attached together. They get delivered off the back of two trucks and then get attached or welded together. This terrace is really nice here. Now this is a display home essentially that we're looking at, and this could be exactly where I could definitely live. I don't need anything too big. Barbecue right here. Back in Australia I actually had a Webercue, so this is the fancy version. You can actually see some of the other houses off in the distance. Hopefully we can get a walk around some of the other ones. Yuri over there chatting to the salesman, and then there's a couple more gentlemen right here, and hopefully we can get a Good look at these guys just relaxing. And this is really nice under this other second part of the container here, because you're nice and protected. So if it's a rainy day or a windy day, you can just chill out right here. Now, as is very traditional in any Russian home, now we live in an apartment, they've got these very heavy doors. And have a look at all the locks that they've got. And this is very normal and very typical in any Russian house or apartment. So they've got door locks beyond door locks. And this is essentially cut out from the container. And there's a couple of windows as well. The one thing that's interesting, and you don't see this in a lot of places, is fly screen windows. These are very popular in Australia, almost standard. But you don't see them too often in Russia. And then coming on inside. So obviously we're restricted to the size of a shipping container. So there's a bit of a dining room area here. There's a sofa. I would imagine then you can get a TV on the wall on this side. That glass window we saw from outside. And there's actually air conditioning. It's actually really cool in here. It's actually very nice and cool. It's a very hot day today here in Moscow region. Around about 30 Celsius today. And what do you think, everybody? Could you live, or at least holiday in a tiny home like this? Now they are very much modular, so you can choose the different layouts. This is a fairly standard kitchen. This is actually the size of the kitchen in our studio in Moscow. This 3-cupboard layout, so I know this size of kitchen very well. And when you get this place delivered, it's pretty much fully kitted out. There's nothing to do except the water and the electricity would need attaching, and that's about it. Let's go on through to the bedroom, shall we? Coming on into the bedroom. Now, again, the width of a container, so you get the double bed. I'm pretty sure this might be a queen size bed. Just looking at the bed frame, plenty of plugs and sockets. And then it's actually got the ceiling installed. And these are what's called stretch ceilings in Russia. So it's not a plasterboard, it's a stretched plastic. It's a bit hard to explain without knowing what it is in real life. Wardrobe right there. And that's about it. You've got the windows that can open and close right out to the deck. Now, even with that door open, it's still very cool in here and very nice and livable, even today where it's just so hot. And then you've got the bathroom, shower, I mean, perfectly livable. And then sink, toilet, and then of course the way the electrics and plumbing would be, this is all basically built into the container. So there's a hot water tank there for the water, so it just needs to be plumbed in from outside and you're good to go. So if my wife is watching, this is something that I would be very interested in purely for the fact that it's completely built and finished and it just needs delivering to a site and installing. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that complicated. The people that actually make these and build them at the factory where they do them, it's all finished and ready to go when it gets delivered. So yeah, if my wife could just be convinced about this, please put in the comments that Zhenya, you need to get Russell into a tiny house like this. They do actually have a brochure right here. Now it's a little bit folded, but they've got the 20-foot version, which essentially is one room. And then this is the 40-foot version that we're in right here. And then there's a photo of the one without the deck, or without the second container, which I think you need, especially in summer here with how hot it is. You need that shade, I think. Okay, so Yuri and I have had a bit of a walk around. And of course I did the tour. And Yuri, what did you think of this container home?
Oh, it's a very good idea. It's a very simple idea. And a very low price for this container. One container, 2.6 million rubles in USD dollars.
$27,000.
$27,000.
Right.
And 2 containers.
So exactly what we've seen today with the house part.
Yes.
And then the deck and the patio.
Patio, terrace,
Three.
zone, 3.8 million rubles, $43,000.
Yeah, so $43,000
Without delivery.
delivery, right. But of course, depending on where you live in Russia or where your land is, it's going to be more or less. And then, so as the container is, basically it's already just got the electrics on the outside, and then the water pipes,
yes,
and everything's,
ventilation, recuperate.
yeah, everything good to go. So what do you
Very
think?
simple.
Do you want to get one?
Yeah, no one, many.
All right,
points.
all right, everybody. So Yuri has his own YouTube channel. It's called
It's called Invest Remont.
Invest Remont. So I'm going to put the link in the description to your channel. Of course, if anybody remembers him from the micro apartments video,
Yeah,
and now we're here having a look at these micro homes, I guess you'd call them. So yeah, if you want to look up Yuri, I'll put his information and you can contact him. He has Telegram, he has VK, he has YouTube, everything. Now, what's everybody going to do at the end of the video? If they like the video, what should they do?
Yeah, well,
A thumbs up.
like video.
Thumbs up. And what else should they do? They should put a comment
Comments
about the container home, whether you like one, would you want one, maybe where you live in the world, would it be practical for where they live?
It's very practical because if you don't want to live in the land, you come to truck and go with home in the other land.
Absolutely, right.
Very simple.
So yeah, by the way, Yuri and I didn't practice anything this ahead of time. We don't do any scripting. If you watch the micro apartment video, the same thing, right? We just walked around and the same thing today. So yeah, if you want to follow me on Telegram, there's a link right here. You can click a link to join me on Telegram. And if you want to see an older video, maybe you want to see Yuri's micro apartments that we actually took a tour around in the center of Moscow, you can click this link right now. And Yuri and I are off on another adventure.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Bye, everybody.
Bye.